Hello everyone, this is Dr. TK and welcome back to Quick Data Tips. So today I'm going to talk about a very important concept in data science called types of variables. So before we begin, let us define what a variable is. In simple terms, a variable is defined as some characteristics or attributes about some samples or individuals under study. So if we consider for an example student enrollment data, then some possible variables include the student's name, the student's gender, the student's major, the student's GPA, and so on and so forth. So those are what we call variables. Now, whenever you have a variable, we can divide the variable into two groups or two types. What are they? So let me mention that in this video, this is a two-part video. So I'm just going to be focusing on one aspect of it. And then in my next video, I'm going to continue. So a variable can be divided into two types. The first is qualitative variable and quantitative variable. Well, an alternative name for qualitative variable is called categorical variable. And then another name for quantitative variable is called numeric variable. So these words can be used interchangeably. So for today's video, I'll be focusing on qualitative or categorical variable. So let's start. What is a qualitative variable? A qualitative variable is the type of variable where the attributes can be classified or put into different groups. So now, what are some examples of qualitative variables? An example includes a student's major. So major is an example of qualitative variable. Why? Because for a given student, we can group it into either the person is a data science major student, mathematics, computer science, statistics, psychology, finance, business, and so on and so forth. So now, if you can subdivide the data or you can classify the data into different categories, then we call it qualitative variable. What is another example? Another example is gender. So gender, we can have male, female, other. So then because we can group gender into two or more groups, then we say it is qualitative. Well, let me also give another example. Another example is the student letter grade. So for example, on an exams or in a course, a student can get an A, a B, a C through to an F. So then because we can subdivide the student's letter grade into multiple groups, then we say it is qualitative or categorical data. I hope you get it. So simple. Now, whenever you have a qualitative data, we can subdivide this qualitative data into two groups or two types. So then the first one is ordinal and then the second one is nominal. So what is ordinal? So with ordinal, this is where we have labels or the data is grouped into labels. And now with these labels or with these groups, we can sort of predefine an order or we can rank it. So for an example, if you have a student letter grade, with student letter grade, we all know that A is highly ranked. So A is ranked higher than a B, B is ranked higher than a C, and so on and so forth till we get to what? We get to an F. So because we have a predefined order in the data, then we say it is ordinal. Now, what is nominal? Nominal is where there are no predefined orders. So which means that the different categories, they all sort of have the same weight. Okay, so one label doesn't overshadow the other, or one label doesn't it's not higher than the other. So an example is gender. So for example, if you have male and female, you cannot say a male is higher than a female and vice versa. What are some other examples of nominal data? Another example of nominal variable, or you could call data, is a person's religion. So for religion, we can have Christianity, we can have Islamic, we can have Buddhism, and so on and so forth. So you cannot say that religion A is better than religion B and vice versa. So let me also give another example of nominal. So another example of nominal could be a person's hair color. So then you can have a black, you can have red, you can have blonde, you can have any color, any hair color, and then you cannot say that one hair color is better than the other. So that is what is called nominal. I hope you understand the difference. So in a nutshell, we start with qualitative data, and then with a qualitative data, depending on whether you can assign a predefined rank or there is no rank, then we have what is called ordinal and nominal. So we stop today and we continue next time on quantitative data. Thank you so much and look forward to it.